What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here tonight with a brand new season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, you guys. This is season 16, episode number 1. So it's been quite some time since we have had the peaches of The Real Housewives of Atlanta on our television screen. I mean, the reunion for season 15, I think that aired somewhere in 2023, if I'm not mistaken, because we didn't have Real Housewives of Atlanta at all in 2024. I know that for a fact. But yeah, we're back, brand new season. We have new ladies added to the cast, and we're gonna, y'all know, with Real Housewives of Atlanta, even if the season don't give us a damn thing to talk about, y'all know that I'm gonna be here to give you guys the review. Now, before we go ahead and get into it, if you guys are watching this episode, this review, or this video, or any other video on the channel, and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and get into this episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, shall we, guys? All right, you guys, so as I stated, this is season 16, episode 1. The episode is titled Welcome Back, Peaches, you guys. So we're here, and what I'm going to try to do this season is with Atlanta, I'm going to try to give you guys pre-recorded videos, and then the following day, give you guys the live that we've been, because you guys are used to the lives. I enjoy doing the lives of all the housewives. I've noticed a significant jump in my views from the lives with Jersey. New York didn't do that well for me, but I stuck with it for as long as I could. But Jersey, Dubai, Beverly Hills, and Potomac, those 4 cities did real well for me, and I'm hoping Atlanta does well for me too. Now, before I get into it, I want to do a little bit of a quick little side note. So this season, the ladies are doing their confessionals a little different. So their confessionals, interviews, whatever you want to call them. They're very similar to Real Housewives of Dubai and Married to Medicine, where it's it's full frame, so you can see head to toe, right? And honestly, when I saw Porsche, I think I saw Drew's, because I follow Drew on Instagram. I saw when Drew was doing her interviews. I saw Porsche's because I believe OMFG, and I'm ashy as hell. I saw OMFG post hers. I never saw Cynthia. I didn't see any of the other women, but I saw Drew and Porsche's interviews. And I was like, oh, okay, so they're going with the style of Married to Medicine and the Real Housewives of Dubai. Now, when you see it on the television, it's horrible, because, and I figured out I figured out throughout the episode what the issue is with Real Housewives of Atlanta's interviews versus Dubai's and even Married to Medicine's. With theirs, you can tell that they're in a green screen. You can tell that they're sitting in front of a green screen instead of them sitting behind a backdrop like they always typically do. They're not sitting behind a backdrop, and you can see it. And the thing with Dubai and Married to Medicines is Dubai's had a little circle rug that their seat sat on. So the rug, so you wouldn't really see the green screen. You would see their feet are planted on the rug and not the green screen itself. Whereas with Atlanta's, their feet are planted on the green screen. Same with Married to Medicine, they have that long ass rug. Well, when it's the couples, they have the long rug. When it's the women, they have the short rug, right? And it's cohesive. This ain't that cohesive, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get into the episode, you guys, shall we? Okay, so we're gonna go a little bit out of order. So, because Shamia, her scene opened the episode, but I don't want to start with Shamia because Shamia was the episode, and Shamia is Shamia is the anchor, nucleus, whatever you want to call it, right? So we're not going to start up with Shamia. So I guess we'll start up with Portia, because Portia technically opened the episode, because we see Portia and they're talking about she's back. And here's the thing, you guys know that for years, I've gone up for Portia. Portia's been my girl, right? And I'm not saying that Portia is not my girl, but at this, after what happened with Simon, y'all know I kind of backed off of Portia. We liked Portia from a distance. Y'all know I didn't watch Portia's Family Matters. I had no intentions of watching it. I'm glad I did not watch it. No. So, this what I will say though, Portia, that opening scene, she looked damn good. You can hate on that girl all you want to, but the body was bodying, the hair was hairing, the makeup was makeup, and like she looked good. So Portia is talking to us about her divorce from Simon. Girl, honestly, I ain't really got much for Portia when it comes to this divorce with Simon. Nothing whatsoever. You thought, here's the thing, Portia, when it comes to you, you thought that, the grass is green on the other side. You thought that everything that glittered was gold, right? So you went and got with that man. Should you have gotten with him? No. Why did you get with him? Again, you you thought you had gold, but instead you had fool's gold. But you know what, it is what it is. So Portia lets us know that she and PJ, they are still living in the marital home. We also see her as she went to go see Randy Kessler. Now you guys remember Randy Kessler from so Portia started Real Housewives of Atlanta season 5. So season 6, you guys remember when she started season 6, she was going through the divorce with Cordell. She went to Randy Kessler in 2013, and now she's seeing Randy Kessler again in 2024 for this divorce with Simon. She says she did things differently this time. She has a prenup in place. You guys know the shit with Simon. That, you know what, I'm not going to say thank God, but you guys know Ice got that man. He's in detainment, right? And so I know Simon was itching to discuss this episode. I know he was. Because that man has been on her ass for months. And it's interesting when you think about Simon, right? The fact that he's been on Portia's ass, but like, sir, you got a whole immigration issue and neither here nor there. So later in the episode, we see as Portia met up with Shamia, right? So I don't know what club they met up at, but they were at a strip club, right? And so I saw a lot of people online talking about where is the class, where is the elegance with Real Housewives of Atlanta? They at a strip club. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, where is the class and elegance? Real Housewives of Atlanta, yes, they are up, they are women of a, supposed to be women of a certain, like, I guess, I don't know what they supposed. They're supposed to be upper echelon women, okay? But you guys are doing the most for me. Because here's the thing, y'all want to say, where's the elegance and where's the class? But y'all weren't saying that season 13 when they had their bachelorette party for Cynthia and they invited Bolo. And it was Peach Juice, Vagina Drip, all them names they came up with. Y'all weren't saying that season 13. Y'all were not saying that, was that season 4 or season 3? When Phaedra brought Ridiculous and the man was twirling his dingling around. Y'all weren't saying none of that shit then. But now y'all want to say it, y'all want to equate this to Love and Hip Hop. Nothing in this episode gave me Love and Hip Hop. Like, not a thing in this episode gave Love and Hip Hop. You saw elegance, you saw money. Like, you saw it with these women. Especially Shamia. You see Shamia got money. You see, who else? I mean, we really mostly saw Shamia, Portia, and Drew. But you definitely, so what are y'all talking about? But I feel like some of y'all just want to complain, and it is what it is. Have at it. So while they're there, they were talking about Simon, right? So Shamia let Portia know that Simon had texted her and congratulated her on the peach and said that it was supposed to be them. I was like, oh, so is that why Simon has been so upset with Portia? Because you guys remember, when it was announced that Portia was going back to Real Housewives of Atlanta, she did that video, Portia Williams going back to Real Housewives of Atlanta? False. Portia Guabadia is in the building, right? At that time, she was still married to Simon, right? But then after she announced for the divorce, That's when he went left. And I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, and the things that he was doing, I was like, it's like you want to be on the show as well, because you guys, yeah, Simon, I got your motherfucking penny, nickel, and your dime, but whatever, right? So Shamia also let Portia know, which we'll talk about this in just a minute, but Shamia let Portia know she went out to dinner with Britt and Kelly, right? And so Kelly was like, why did Portia steal that woman's man? Again, we'll talk about it in a few minutes. She also told her that they talked about the fact that Drew, we don't know what's going on with Drew and Dennis, right? We'll put a pin in that and we'll come back to that in a minute too. So I thought it was interesting that they showed that Portia actually had a conversation with Drew backstage on the phone at the last season's reunion. I was like, Drew. Girl. We'll pause here and we're going to move on. All right, you guys. So next up, let's talk about our new, actually, we got one of the new girls in this episode introduced, an introduction to. So we were introduced to Kelly. So we see Kelly. Kelly is having a tea party. I believe she's having a tea party for her daughter, her oldest daughter's 17th birthday, who she presented with 17 gifts, and they were all bags. I was like, ooh. And see, this is another thing. Y'all talking about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, but you saw money. Y'all saw money in this episode. You saw it with Shamia. You see it with Kelly. Kelly is giving her daughter 17 bags, and I think they were all Balmain. Like, I think that's how you pronounce that. But they were all expensive. Like, so y'all talking about love. Y'all just, again, people just want to just be upset and have a reason to complain. Because I didn't see nothing Love and Hip Hop. Not a damn thing. So we found out that Kelly is going through a divorce from her husband. It's been ongoing for 2 years, but in the next 2 months, she should be divorced, right? So she has 4 daughters. 3 of them are with her soon-to-be ex-husband, right? So her oldest daughter is 17 again. I didn't catch the baby's name, so I apologize. Then she has a daughter after her who is 11 years old, and then she has 2 twin girls who are both 8 years old, and all of her girls are beautiful. A little bit more about Kelly. So Kelly has a restaurant called, I believe it's called Nana's. She also has a cookbook. She has a 24K maple syrup, waffle mix. I believe she said grits and a mimosa mix. I'm gonna have to look up Miss Kelly. I'm gonna have to look Miss Kelly up, because one thing I do like to do is cook. I like to cook. I like to cook. But yeah, that's really all we got with Miss Kelly. So far, I think of the newbies so far, I think I'm gonna like Kelly. Britt, we'll talk about Britt. We'll talk about Britt, because Britt kind of annoyed me in this episode, and for one particular reason. And we'll talk about it once we get to it. So let's go ahead and move on to the next person. All right, you guys, so Drew Sidora is back. Here's the thing. When it comes to Drew, I do like Drew. The only problem that I've ever had with Drew from season 13, 14, and 15 was that Drew was a damn liar. I like Drew, but she just lies. Much like Portia, right? They both lie. But I still like them for some odd reason, right? Now, Drew, what is this outfit that you were wearing with your kids in this opening scene? I was like, wow, you put a full beat of makeup on, a wig on, and this outfit, and you outside with your kids playing football, and I am ashy as hell. Like, okay, Drew, if that's what you want to do, go for it. So we see Kenya as Kenya came over to Drew's crib, right? So we are going to see Kenya in this season, but Kenya's role has been drastically reduced. Kenya went from a full-time housewife during filming to now she's not even considered a friend of. Kenya is basically like a day player. Like at this point, Kenya has gone from a full-time housewife to actually supporting cast, right? Because even in this episode, we know Cynthia is a friend of, and Cynthia kind of looked more like Cynthia was a housewife than a friend of, because of the confessionals. Because we saw quite a few confessionals from, again, them confessionals, not the look, right? Not the one nor the two. Kenya went over to Drew's house, right? You guys remember season 15, Drew and Ralph were going through the divorce, right? And so Drew is telling us about the divorce. Drew is telling us that when it comes to she and Ralph, that you know Ralph still lives in the house, but at this point, Ralph is down in the basement, and so Kenya was like, "Can you go down there?" She's like, "No, I can't go down there," and he has his own separate interest into the basement, right? She also says on the first, third, and the fifth of the month, she has first, third, and the fifth week of the month. Wait, there are not 5 weeks in a month. Did she say the fifth week? Did Drew literally say the? Maybe she said the fourth week, but I could have sworn she said the fifth. Because I thought at first she said the first, third, and the 15th of the month, but I'm thinking she said the first. She had to have said, but I'm pretty positive she said the first, the third, and the fifth week. But there's not 5 weeks in a month. But that's what I think that's what she said. If I heard it wrong, before I go live tomorrow, I'll definitely re-listen to that scene again to make sure that I got it right. But neither here nor there. Drew also lets us know that she and Ralph communicate via a text message, and the judge can see it. She says that Ralph gets very petty in the text messages. I'm like, oh, so you playing up? Oh, so you just playing, letting Ralph, look like the asshole, which Ralph is an asshole, but whatever. So then she says that she is doing music with none other than Coach Dennis. That's right, Dennis McKinley, which I saw that when they started filming, because like I said, I followed Drew. When they started, actually it was before they started filming, I saw her posting shit with Dennis, and I was like, Coach Dennis, girl, what the fuck are you doing with him? And they were in the studio, and then she's talking about they doing music together. So Kenya was like, how does Portia feel about that? Drew, I do believe you were lying when you said that Portia was okay with it. Girl, I do believe you lying. But whatever. If you feel that way, you feel that way. So then Drew says that Coach Dennis told her that, this music is going to help him pay for Polaris School, college. Is she going to ICDC? Because, sir, and Drew, this is no shade, no slight to Drew, because I like Drew and I think Drew is a great singer, but girl, who's buying your music? Again, no shots, no shade, just asking a question. Okay, moving on. Moving the fuck on. So we're gonna pause here, you guys, and we're gonna wrap up the episode. So the last person we got is Shamia. So, like I said earlier, Shamia was the focal point of this episode. Shamia appears to be the anchor of this show because Shamia knows Portia, and through Portia, she knows Kenya, she knows Cynthia, right? Now, they actually put a graphic up earlier this week or last week. In the episode, they said Kenya, but in the picture, they didn't have Kenya, right? So they did it. So how it goes is Shamia knows Portia, right? She's best friends with Portia, and then she's friends with Cynthia through Portia, and she's known this group for about 10 years, right? She knows Drew because she and Drew did TLC Crazy Sexy Cool together. I didn't know that. So Drew knows Angela Oakley, and so they're friends. Shamia doesn't really know Angela, but she knows Angela's husband, Charles Oakley, because of her dancing, for the Falcons when she was, a dancer, a cheerleader for the Atlanta Falcons, right? She's friends with Britt, and she's friends with Britt, and she's friends with Angela, and not Angela, she's friends with Britt and Kelly, and they're friends with each other, right? So that's how everything lines up. I was like, okay, cool. I think I got everything right. If I didn't, you guys can correct me. But I think I got everybody. I believe I got everybody with the group. Portia, Kelly, Drew. Portia, Kelly, Drew, Britt, Angela, and Shamia. So it's 6 housewives, and so Shamia, I got it. So I do have I don't have a question. I'm just wondering, because you guys, the title card, it just has the 6 women, right? It doesn't have Phaedra in it. So I'm wondering, when Phaedra is introduced back to the group, are they going to include her in the title card? They probably are, because she's in the cast photo. Phaedra's in the cast photo, but she's not in the opening title card. Interesting. But again, we know Phaedra came in 2 weeks, like with 2 weeks left of filming. So I'm wondering how they're gonna edit this. I'm pretty positive we'll probably see her towards the I'm pretty positive we'll see Phaedra probably towards the second half of the season. I mean, honestly, y'all know I don't want to see her period point blank, but it is what it is. The woman is back on the show. Am I ecstatic about it? Absolutely the fuck not. But whatever. She's back. Now, Shamia's home. Baby, Shamia's home is everything. We also find out that Shamia has been with her husband Gerald for 10 years. She told us how they met. Shamia, baby, when them people said shorten that shit and you was talking for 5 minutes, girl, you are long-winded. Do I have a problem with you being long-winded? Absolutely not, because from one long-winded bitch to another long-winded person, I'm calling myself a bitch, not Shamia. From one long-winded bitch to another long-winded person, I get it. Because I mean, y'all know, I can go for hours and hours, like money long. So, yeah. Where we at? She talked about her daughters. I forget her oldest daughter's name, but I know her baby's name is Shiloh. And we gonna pray for her because the baby, her daughter has health issues. She has nurses around the clock. So, and she wants more kids. We gonna, pray over her daughter. Just pray, just positive, positive things, a long, healthy, fulfilling life. That's all we gonna pray. Now I noticed in Shamia, one of her interviews, Shamia got a grill in. I was like, oh, you put a grill in. I mean, Candace wore a grill on Housewives of Potomac, so I ain't even tripping about it. Shamia also lets us know that she is a singer, a dancer, an actress, and a host. Now the actress part I didn't really know about, but okay, cool. I'm honestly here for Shamia being a peach holder. I've wanted Shamia to be a peach holder for quite some time, and I'm happy for Shamia. Now is her time. It is her time, right? It is definitely her time. So after that, we see as Shamia had dinner with Britt and Kelly, right? Now, let's see how I can say this and not be shady. Well, I can't say it and not be shady. So we see Britt, right? So Britt got on her new engagement ring from her husband, right? But she's married. And she was talking about she got a new wedding ring. I was like, okay. Where's your wedding band? Like, you have on your engagement ring, but where's your wedding band? Like, where's the band? You don't have a wedding band on. Where's the wedding band? I was just looking for her wedding band. Because even I was, and like I said, we'll talk about it in a few minutes. Because I was thinking what Kenya was thinking when she talked about it. But again, we'll talk about it when we get to it. Now, with her husband, her husband gives a vibe. And that's all I'm gonna say. So they talked about Shamia's party that she's gonna have for her birthday. She's talked about she's inviting her best friend Portia. Then Kelly talks about why did Portia take that woman's husband? Ma'am, I get it. It's the question that we wanted answered at the end of season 13. When speaking of Portia, let's talk about my girl Portia real quick. So Portia has been on the interview trail this past week, right? She did the Breakfast Club, and she also was on The View, right? So on The View, they asked her, Alyssa Farrah Griffin was talking to her about coming back to the show after being gone for so long, right? Portia refuses to say the reason why she didn't come back to season 14 of the show is because she didn't want to answer to the girls about getting with Simon. Portia, that's why you left the show. That's why you left the show. I mean, am I mad that Kelly brought it up? No, I'm really not. Because that's the $1 million question at this point. That's the $1 million question. So then they talked about Drew, and so they're wondering if Drew is dating Coach Dennis because Britt says that she heard that Drew was dating Coach Dennis. That's your type, girl? Okay, whatever. So we see Shamia's party. So Shamia sat down with Kelly, told Kelly, like, hey, I was really uncomfortable with you talking about my best friend. So I did tell her, and Kelly was like, girl, I already knew because Portia, I don't know if if that was an Amazon live, but I'm pretty positive because I saw somebody had posted it when she did the Amazon live and she was talking about the girls and she talked about it. So we found out that in Kelly's marriage there was some infidelity. I was like, oh, so that's why you feel away. Okay. So we meet Angela Oakley, who is married to Charles Oakley, right? Now, what I will say is, it must. I think they. When did they film last? When did they film this season? Was it during the summer? Because I mean, Angela, beautiful woman. But much like like season 3 of Real Housewives of Potomac, when they had the balls, when they were in the ball pits, and Karen's wig slid to the back of her head, baby Angela's wig is lifted. It was lifted, and I saw some people upset at her husband for they said the way he was talking to her, he was literally telling her, "You need to go to the bathroom and check your goddamn wig," because it literally, you can see it right here. Her wig started to lift, like it was lifted. I was like, oh my god. It was raining, but her wig lifted. So I'm like, it must have been hot as hell outside, right? So after that, now Portia, ma'am, you were late as hell. Now, granted, again, my elbow is ashy than a motherfucker. I should have put. You know what? I apologize, you guys. I did not put no lotion on after I took my shower, but I did put lotion on my hands, and you still can't tell that I put lotion on. Neither here nor there. Portia, this is your best friend. I'm pretty sure you knew what time the party started. Even here, like here in Dallas, right? If you want to get somewhere, we have rush hour. We have backed up traffic pretty much all day, right? But during the week and the weekend, weekends is pretty chill on our free. Well, not all of them, but if you want to go somewhere in Dallas, you and if it's like if you want to go downtown, anywhere downtown, back behind me, you're fine. But if you're going towards the downtown area, baby, you got to leave an hour to 2 hours early just to avoid the traffic. And even with Atlanta, because you guys remember, I went to Atlanta to go hang out with Scotty for his birthday, right? And I drove, I rented a car and I was driving the entire weekend. And I was talking to Sakina and Jamie, that's me, about the traffic. Like when I first got to Atlanta, I had to go, I went to this one enterprise and it took us almost an hour to get to that enterprise because of the traffic. Because the traffic was backed up because there were back to back accidents. Like it was 3 accidents and like it was one accident in front of us. Then you go about a half a mile, there was another accident, and then there was another accident in front of that. Like, so Portia, girl, you live in Atlanta. And even me being there for 3 days, I learned that, okay, if you want to get somewhere in Atlanta, you got to leave early to avoid this goddamn traffic. You wrong. And then when you showed up when that girl was opening, revealed her gift, maybe I would have cussed you out. But I'm gonna do, it is what it is. So Cynthia was telling Kenya about what happened with Shamia telling Portia what Kelly said, and how Kelly was upset about that. And Portia was like, well, I mean, not Portia, but Kenya was like, why is she upset? I was like, exactly, why is she upset? So they sat down and had a conversation with Portia and with Kelly. Honestly, I don't get why Kelly cares so much, but I mean, it's stirring the pot, it's moving the drama, it's getting the storyline out there. I ain't really mad at it, right? And then they went up on that elevator of Shamia's. My God, that elevator. And they talking to Drew about Coach Dennis. Drew, all I gotta say to you is you're lying. Period. Point blank. You're lying through your fucking teeth. And that is it, you guys. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. Until the next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one, you guys. So be sure to join me tomorrow. I think it's at 4 o'clock. If it's not at 4, it's at 4:30. But be sure to join me tomorrow for the live review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, you guys. And I'll catch you guys then. And also, Married to Medicine will be up later, as well as Baddies.